welcome back to Caesar's Freedomstead. Now I've gotten the question in the past, what is the best time to water your plants? Whether it's potted plants or if you're planting inside the ground in garden rows in your backyard, there's really the same way to water your plants for best results every single time. So there's 2 times of the day that is best for watering all of your potted plants or plants in the ground. I'm going to go ahead and gear this more toward planting in containers and pots because that is what I'm doing this year. After all the years that me and Marina have been gardening and growing pretty much anything you can think of, we found that there was 2 of the best times to water all your plants. As you see behind me, there's all kinds of different things growing here. Now certain plants like water more than others. They like to have a lot more water than others. Some like to have just a little bit. But the timing of watering is about the same for everybody. So especially if you're in a place that has extreme heat during the day, or if you're in an area where it doesn't have extreme heat, it maybe just gets up to 80 degrees. So it does, the watering process doesn't really depend upon where you're actually at, because if you do it at these 2 times that we'll go over, you'll be completely fine no matter where you're at. Now the first time for you to go ahead and water all of your potted plants, fruits and vegetables and such is morning. Now you're gonna ask, well, what time in the morning? That's kind of general. Well, you'll actually be pretty surprised what my answer is, what has been working out great over the years. You may have, a lot of different voices out there telling you different things. I'm just telling you how it has worked out great for us. And this has worked out great in just a normal climate that doesn't get super, super hot when we lived a little bit up north. And it works for a super hot climate like in Florida where we are now. So this has worked out in all different temperature ranges. Now, when you're watering for the first time in the morning, it is not early morning, believe it or not. I know it's pretty hard because most of y'all out there are getting ready and getting kids to school and getting out to work and everything like that. But if you can, this is the time to go ahead and water, is not early morning, but a little bit mid-morning. So 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish, maybe even to 11. That is the time to water it for the first time. Now, why is that? Well, the sun has already come up. If it's a hot area where you're at, the heat has already started during the day and it started to dry up your plants just slightly. So they're getting that first shock of the day. What you want to do is you want to prevent against that first shock of the day. So water at about mid-morning time frame for your first watering, and it's going to help them for the entire day. Now if you do it early in the morning, so this is the difference. If you do it too early in the morning when the heat hasn't even come out yet, your plant is going to, first of all, it's going to be soaked up into that water and it's going to be great. It's going to have a drink, it's going to be refreshed, but by the time the afternoon comes and you're at work, you're doing your thing, the plant's already drying up, you see? And it's going without water, unless it rains, which is great. But let's say for the weeks where there's no rain or you don't have a drip system in there. Drip system is great, but not all of us have that. So this is mostly for y'all who don't have that drip system. But you're doing it mid-morning and you're protecting it against that first drying out, and you're giving it pretty much that lifeline for the rest of the hot day. But in that morning, you water it too early, it is going to be getting that drink. It's going to be good. But it's going to start drying up as soon as that sun comes out. And for all y'all who have grown inside of pots and containers, you know that they dry up very, very quickly unless they're in an enormous container and they're soaked, But even then they do dry up. So when you have things potted, you have to water them every day. So if you can somehow get that mid-morning watering in, your plants are going to do so much better. On the days that I'm able to, I try to go ahead and do that as much as I can. There are days that I get super busy. I understand with work schedules and such. That's the same here. But when you can, do that for your first watering mid-morning when the sun has gotten just a little bit hot. Now I am trying to make this somewhat of a complete guide for watering as well. So it wouldn't be complete unless I told you, always use rainwater. Get one of these. They're very cheap. You may actually find them on Craigslist or at a thrift store. These are water barrels. You could buy them for fairly cheap prices online, brand new, but you can find these. if you search, like I said, these online websites where people are selling out of their home, or at thrift stores, you can get them for like maybe 20, 30 bucks, maybe even 50 bucks for the big ones. These are 50 gallon, and I collect rainwater in my buckets that come off the house. And this has a mesh on the top here, and it keeps all the big sediment pieces and sand and everything out of the water. And right here we have our little spout. Turn that on. You can also hook up a line to this and put it over your plants. You might be able to hook up some sort of drip system. That is one of my plans for the future. Just haven't done it yet, but stay tuned and I'll teach you all how to do that once I get it all installed. But for now, this is a great system, and it's going to save you a lot of money on water. Certain areas in the United States, or pretty much in the world, you'll be charged differently for water based on, basically the area. But this is a great way to save money on water, and it's the best possible water to use. Rainwater has everything plants need. Think about it. Every time you have a rainstorm or thunderstorm, it kind of seems like your plants have perked up and they've actually gotten something they haven't had in a while, and they grow just that much bigger overnight. I've noticed it many, many times. The plants look 10 times better after a thunderstorm. Now, the way that you want to water, there's a specific way you want to water your plants as well. Now, if it's a cloudy day, a cool cloudy day, you can water it anywhere you want. But if it's a hot sunny day, the sun's out, you want to water at the base of the plant. You don't want to get it on the leaves. You're going to get on the leaves, the hot sunshine, you're going to burn your leaves. You want to go ahead and just put it to the base of the plant. Today's a hot sunny day. It's a little shady here because I got my umbrella up. But it's a hot sunny day, so we're going to go ahead and water the base. Now look how healthy these plants are. This is obviously a tomato plant. There are green tomatoes in here. This thing is teeming with tomatoes. Now the absolute best time to be watering is at night. Now why is that? Why do you want to water at night? Well, at night your plants are getting a rest. During that hot day, or just having the sun applying energy to your plants all day, even if it's not a hot day, it's still making the plants work, okay? They absorb that sunlight, they do photosynthesis, they create all their different food for themselves, but they do need a rest. So at night they rest. And what the best thing to give something when it's resting is what it needs. It's nutrients, it's water. You want to give it its sustenance, and so it could grow. So, it's the same for anything, resting is the biggest growth period, for people that work out, for athletes, for anyone doing anything strenuous or having a hard, long work day. Nighttime, when you're going to bed, it is the time for rest. Now, your plants are the same way. They are resting when they're not sitting out in the sun. They're getting their sunlight, they're creating all their food. At night, they have a nice, good rest from that sun. You can water them in the evening when you get home from work, and you're giving them that whole replenishment from that entire day. And now if you were able to water your plants about mid-morning, it carried them through most of the day, and there's going to be this brief dry period in your potted plants where your plants are actually growing their roots deeper because they're searching for water. So they're going to have a little bit of a growth period as well. And then at night, you go ahead and water everything again, and it's getting what it needs throughout the night. And so you keep this cycle going, and everything is going to grow big, green, healthy, and provide fruits and vegetables for you. We've been doing this for years and years, and just this is the method to do it. And like I said, I understand if you can't get it twice a day. If you can do it, that's perfect. Or you can set up a drip system. That's good as well. And I'll do a video on that in the future when I hook one up to all these. But that is the best time to water, is the nighttime. Right after the sun has gone down and they get what they need. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Go ahead and try those simple steps. It's basic science, basic science for your plants. Try those steps. Let me know how it works out in the comment section. If you have a better way of doing it that you've seen great results with, go ahead and let me know. That'd be amazing. But other than that, thank you so much for your time. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, like the video. See you in the next one.